Hi guys, I am mega excited to share something with you. This is Creative Stamping Magazine issue 152. This came through my post yesterday. And oh my goodness, this is magical. If you're looking for something different, wintry feel, cold feel, this here is the one to check out, honestly. Very quickly I show you the stamps. Don't take them out of the packaging. I already recorded a more detailed walkthrough of these, which I will attach once we look through the magazine in here. So it is the Winter's Night stamp set, lovely A4 size stamp set, Northern Lights winter theme inspired, woodlandy, and then we have this lovely polar bear from Hero Arts. I will show you this in more detail in a second. But first, let's have a look at the magazine. A look at this card. How gorgeous, my goodness. So as always, the magazine is jam-packed with inspiration on how you can use your goodies. It shows you lots of different ways, so that's what I'm going to show you now. So first up we have the winter scenes by me. These are my 5 cards. I'm just very quickly going to show you all the different ones because I have recorded the more detailed video where I have finished these cards and I'm showing them to you and walk you through in more detail what way I created them. So there's the other 2. And then we have a starry night. So this is Dina's creative ideas to make inky skies to showcase the stamps. So in here you can see a step-by-step guide on how you can create a background just like that. Oh wow, how beautiful is this? They're absolutely stunning. So again, a very different inspiration in here for you, for your backgrounds. And then we have Julie with some birthday inspiration where she shows you how you can use all these lovely stamps, a completely different mix than Christmas. Absolutely beautiful. I love the colors that she worked with too. Such a lovely combination. Then we have Sarah who used the paper downloads for her backgrounds. Absolutely stunning mix again. Really fun stamp set. Then we have Laura who used the animals. You can have a lot of fun with the puns. So she used the punny sentiments combined with the animals to create her cards. Very clever. Really lovely cards again. And we have Vicky who used the trees to create all the different cards. There's 2 more in there, and she has created all of this just with the tree stamps. So you can see how you get so much inspiration using your stamps in this magazine. And then last but not least we have Nikki who created this lovely card, which is actually the cover card from the front of the magazine. Absolutely brilliant. I really love it. So I'm just holding my finger in here because I wanted to show you the new Die Cutting Essentials magazine with the Lisa Horton die set. I already shared my video where I showed how I made all these cards, so go check that one out as well. But now I'm going to show you the stamp set and then the cards that I've created. So today I'm showing you 2 stamp sets that come with the issue 152 of the Creative Stamping Magazine, and this one is called A Winter's Night. So let's have a look at this larger one first. You can see all the lovely animals featured in it. And then we have some trees as well, the mountains. We have a star, we have some additional, which could be star or snow. We have lots of sentiments here. Winter blessings, sealed with love. I hope you have a brilliant birthday. To a cool friend, let's break the ice. Sending warm wishes, let's get cozy. Thinking of you this Christmas, sending love from across the miles. I think it is so pretty. Look at the colorway that I was given to work with. It gives real Northern Lights feel, really goes with the theme, and I love the color combination in there too, so really pretty. And then we have another stamp set to go with this, and this is from Hero Arts. We have these polar bears, a floating ice. We have a scarf and a hat. How cute. I love you more than I can bear. A standing winter, hugs and stay afloat. So this is what I've got to work with for my commission, to make 5 cards for this issue of magazine. They have to be elegant and classic Christmas cards, more for adults than kids.
And we also have some pattern papers that come with this. I have not printed them out because I might or might not use them just on one of the cards. I was asked if it suits to use it on one. I might not, I don't know yet. So yeah, I look forward to working with this. Very different. It's going to be very technical, I feel, to create some backgrounds. So I look forward to the challenge. So once I'm done with the cards, I will come back and show you what I've created. So my 5 cards using this really stunning stamp set. The first one I made into an art shape card, and I've created this gorgeous Arctic Northern Lights scene in here. So for this one I stamped the seal, I masked it off, and then I stamped the floating ice and the mountains in the background, and I masked the mountains off before adding color to the background. I used light colors first, stamped and clear heat embossed over them this lovely Northern Lights stamp, and then I added the darker colors and the darker shades on top of that and rubbed away anything from the heat embossing. I think it just turned out so pretty. I added some color to the background and to the seal, just very, very faint blue. I'm not even sure you can pick up now in the middle of the night again. But then I added some crystal clear sparkle pen from Spectrum Noir to the water, to the ice, and to the lights as well. Some twinkling lights or stars even in there, and I actually added some rhinestones too. I just stamped the sentiment and popped it up on foam pads, and that's what finishes it off. I really think that the holographic card really goes well with it. I absolutely adore how this one turned out. It was just really magical to work on this piece. For my second card, I made this here. Now, this one was inspired by a card that I seen online on YouTube, and it was a card by Sierra T. And I will find that video and I will leave a link to it in the description box below. Make sure you go over and check out her video. It was different. She used different colors and she used die cuts in the foreground and all. But the technique is very much inspired by her make. And I absolutely love how this turned out. So because of the colors that I had to work with, I kind of was mixing the colors and it turned out so well. So I used the Twisted Citron to stamp the first row, and then I added a little bit of a cracked pistachio to the Twisted Citron, and then I used just cracked pistachio, and then I used a bit of a tumbler glass added to the cracked pistachio. So it's kind of mixing the colors to get all different shades of the greens in there, and I think it turned out absolutely perfect. So there's a lot of water being used, so you can see this front card is a watercolor card, because I was spraying water onto the stamp and onto the card as well as I was stamping it. So it gave me this lovely water washed look. I think it's such a lovely scene. I added some ink splatters with white acrylic ink. Not sure if you can pick up on that, for a little bit of a snowy look. On the foreground here I stamped and then clear sparkle heat embossed them, those trees. And then just finished off with some sequins and the sentiment, and I added a bit of a color to the sky as well. And I am really pleased with how this turned out. This card was a trust the process kind of card. I did not like it until I actually finished it, so I wasn't sure until last second whether I was going to submit this one or gonna make something else, but I absolutely adore how it turned out in the end. Card number 3, I made this lovely scene with the reindeer. I stamped the trees again with all different greens, and I was mixing the greens too to get different shades, so they all look a little bit different. I used crystal clutch glitter just to fill in the spaces in there, and I just fussy cut those trees onto the background. On here I ink blended all the different colors, then I used the snowfall stamp all over, covered the entire panel with it with white embossing powder, and then I've die cut an aperture in the middle, and then this frame to go right in the middle, which I covered in that crystal crush glitter, the same as I added to the trees. I popped this on foam pads, and I added the deer, which I just added a very little color with some alcohol markers, and I actually stamped this with gray ink instead of a black one. I didn't want it to be too stark. The card front I just inked up. You can see it's a white card base. I just inked up the front panel with that blue, and then I added the sentiment, and again I dragged my blue alcohol marker around the sides there. You can see that lovely dimension in there from all the foam pads, and the texture from the heat embossing and the glitter I think is just so pretty. So this is a square card. So card number 4 is a slightly larger one. We want to compare it to the 5-inch square in there. You can see I ink blended the background to create that, and then I used the stamps from Altenew in here. I love these polar bears, they're so cute. I just added them onto the floating ice images. These are all just stamped and cut out, and then I placed them together. I didn't use any masking in here. I ink blended colors on a piece of cardstock, and then I stamped and heat embossed with white over them to get these trees. So you can see the difference in here. I stamped with the inks. In here I stamped with the embossing powder, so you can get 2 different looks from those trees. It's so cool. You can use these stamps completely different ways to get different looks. Before I adhere the trees in here, I stamped the mountains few times. So I stamped and heat embossed once, masked that off, stamped and heat embossed again, offsetting, masked it off, stamped and heat embossed again, and so on. I kept continuing going until I had a real lovely arrangement in there. And then I stamped and clear sparkle. So I used the clear sparkle embossing powder for the moon. You can pick up on all that lovely sparkle. And I did the same on the water. You can just about pick up on some of that sparkle, and on the ice as well. To do that, I just used a Wow embossing pen, which I think is such a handy tool to have in anyone's stash if you like heat embossing, adding details to heat emboss, and because I can just draw whenever I wanted to add that sparkly detail. You can see, I hope you can pick up on all that. It is really gorgeous. One last thing that I did, I bleached out the color on the moon, as you can see, and on the mountains. To do that, I just used water on a clean brush. I added the water, let it set just for a minute, and then I dabbed it all away. So you can see, because this was all ink blended together, but it's a completely different color now, because I bleached that color out just by using water. And I didn't even use watercolor cardstock here. This is a lovely smooth cardstock, but if you want to add, or you don't trust your cardstock that you have in your stash, just use watercolor to do this technique. It's really nice. And then I just added to a cool friend, popped up on a foam pad in there, and this is this card ready. I love this one too. I love them all. I really enjoyed working with this. So for one card I was asked if I can use the scenic backgrounds from one of the papers that you can download that comes with this set, and this is what I made. So I downloaded this paper about 3 times, okay. I've cut it down to size, and then from the other 2 I've just cut out these snow hills in there. And these are all popped up on foam pads. You can see this one and this one is popped on foam pads. I added glitter to all the snow hills and to the mountain tops. Stamped and heat embossed and colored in these images. I just arranged them again, popped up on foam pads, added my sentiment from the topper sheet, and just some of these pearls, which I thought tied in very nicely with the hair in there. And this is card number 5. This was quite easy to make. This is a 5 by 7 inch size, so you can resize these papers to any sizes that you want to use on your card. I really love how this one turned out too. Quite whimsical. I absolutely love these cards. This stamp set is something else, honestly. Just so beautiful. I really loved the color theme too that I was working with in here. Okay, so do let me know which one is your favorite. If I had to choose one, I think this one here is my favorite. I really enjoyed working on this one, but they were all quite a joy to make. So do let me know, and I really hope to see you back with my next one. Now I'm going to leave you some footage, pictures of the cards that I have here. Okay, bye!